This is really cool.
The HTC Vive is asking a lot from would-be players. It's a $799 system that requires a fast gaming PC. To get the most out of the platform, you need to give up almost an entire room, or at least a lot of one. Just setting up the 2 required Lighthouse base stations for tracking the controllers and headsets, it's an elaborate affair. The included install kit suggests you literally drill them into your walls. Everything from the size of the box, to the amount of hardware included, to the lengthy and intense setup process, seems to indicate that this isn't a mainstream product, or at least not yet. But rather, this is something that aimed at players who are willing to go to great lengths for the best possible virtual reality experience. This is for enthusiasts, even though the initial hours with the Vive can really test that enthusiasm. But what the Vive offers in exchange for all this feels like something from a science fiction movie. This is virtual reality in which you can walk around and interact directly with objects using your hands, or at least the controllers in your hands. And the tracking on both the headset and the controllers is close to flawless.
Oh my god, this is so cool!
We've been spending the past week shooting laser guns, firing arrows, and drawing with light. The Vive allows you to do things that feel real inside of environments you can explore with your hands and body, and not just with your head movements. I've spent hours inside these games, and I can hardly believe how well it all works.
Virtual reality is real, you guys.
And the fact the Vive bundles these controllers and base stations together in one package makes all the difference. Every developer is creating for the same platform, so the majority of the games available at launch take advantage of all of these features. The community isn't splintered. If you have a Vive, you have motion controls. That's a huge advantage, even if it comes with a much higher price point. And that's not a small improvement. Being able to use your hands to create a painting or shoot a gun brings you into the game in a whole different way. And dodging an arrow by jumping out of the way or avoiding a spike by laying on your back and scooting along the floor makes you feel like you're in an honest-to-goodness holodeck. And the Vive also solves many tricky issues we've had with VR in general. You can bring up the pass-through camera by tapping the menu button twice, which allows you to see a ghostly version of the real world around you. This is where you find your drink, or grab your controller, or interact with someone else in the room. The chaperone system also brings up a wireframe boundary when you get close to the edge of your play space, keeping you from bumping into the walls. While other VR platforms have had to create virtual menus and environments from scratch, Steam VR came up with a novel solution. It just shows you Steam Big Picture mode and puts a laser pointer on one of your controllers. So anything you can do on Steam, from buying a game to messaging a friend, you can do in virtual reality, and you already know how it all works in the menus. The Vive hardware may not also be as immediately impressive as the Rift's headset. It's heavier for starters, and the cable and fidgety straps are also drawbacks. Learning how to move freely and walk around in your play space while remaining untangled takes a bit of time. And the top strap you adjust is actually located under the bundle of cables running to your PC. The Oculus design looks and feels elegant as well as functional. The Vive is workable.
No!
But when it all works, it gives you everything you want in virtual reality, and maybe even more, even though this software and hardware can sometimes feel rough or maybe even unfinished. Dungeon crawlers in general are fun, but this is the first time in my home I've had to actually and physically crawl under a slashing blade on my hands and knees to grab some treasure. This feels like it offers a lot of what the promise of virtual reality always has been to consumers. It gives you a physical and direct connection to the game in which you're playing. The future is here now. It's complicated as hell and it's certainly expensive, but overall, it might actually all be worth it.
That is unreal.
Oh, this is a delight. I need to knock that down. God, I am good at this.
I'm gonna throw every coffee cup I see. Man, you should not get high and do this.